Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of Eyedrop, TKL, left those places and opened Eyedrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but Eyedrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give Eyedrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at Eyedrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Live from the Low T Center studio, Ben McKee, Jason Swain. It is Thursday, folks, 5 minutes past the top of the hour, June the 10th. We are flowing and going in the month of June. Lots to get to today. A couple guests joining us on the Irish Networks hotline today. Tons of information to go over. Tony Vitello spoke in Nashville on 104.5 The Zone. Got his comments. Tennessee's athletic director, Danny White, laid down a plan for Tennessee athletics to be the best program in the country, compete at a high level. So he laid down his plans and took questions from the media yesterday. So we will cover that. Yesterday, Tennessee Super Regional tickets went on sale and was sold out in about 15 to 20, 30 minutes. If that. And it sparked a lot of conversation. We call it that. Also, it has sparked some imagination, some creativity about what to do with a passionate group of fans that are foaming at the mouth to support this baseball team. And one of those ideas is, man, let's do a Nashville Predators, Toronto Raptors playoff watch party outside the arena, big screen, and have everybody just there. And let this baseball team feel the energy from inside the stadium and outside the stadium. And Tennessee is looking at those options, if that's a possibility or not. But they are looking at it. Listen, this is an administration. They're forward thinking. They think outside the box. That is something that is being thought about. See if they can swing. I mean, it is Thursday, so I saw a tweet where someone was like, "Listen, just close off the streets, the necessary street. We got the rest. We'll figure it out. If it takes people bringing the generators out there and plugging up cell phones and streaming the game outside, as long as we're doing it together, that's all we need." But what a great opportunity for Tennessee, the fan-based athletic program, to lock arms around this baseball team and not let the size of the stadium, because that's just something that's not going to change overnight, Ben. It is what it is. It should have been handled decades ago. It wasn't. Here we are. Let's make the best of it, and let's understand what's important, and that is being in the same boat, pulling in the same direction, and supporting this baseball team as they do something that hasn't been done here in a very, 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 very long time. Ben, good morning, man. Rocking with the Yankees, man. They winning.
Yeah, 1-2 in a row.
Pitcher cheating.
And it's also no, he's not cheating. He came back last night and struck out the guy twice. Take that, Josh Donaldson. You want to call out Garrett Cole for his spin rate being down? We'll take 2 strikeouts and a pop out the first in foul territory against Garrett Cole. How you like that for dinner?
Why Garrett Cole just didn't want to answer the question straight
because he uses it. Every pitcher in baseball has used it for years.
Hey, man, do you use stuff that helps you play a little bit better that might be frowned upon, maybe considered cheating? Well, I don't know how to answer
He didn't even do that. He just did not even.
I
thought the Zoom froze.
He paused.
I'm not sure how to answer that.
I don't know how to answer it. It's yes or no, Garrett.
Yes. The problem is that these pitchers have started using more than just the typical sunscreen and rosin, or more than the pine tar. They're going outside of the box and using this other extremely sticky stuff. And I was listening to Buster Olney of ESPN in an interview, and he said that last year when the stadium was empty and there was nobody in the stadium, pitchers were throwing pitches and it sounded like Velcro ripping off. You know the sound of Velcro ripping off?
Oh my God, that's like Spider-Man.
Yes, like they were throwing it, and that's the sound. Pitchers were throwing pitches, and that's the sound that it was making from the sticky stuff and the ball separating from their hands. So it's become a serious problem. But it's as Garrett Cole said, it's been something that's been passed down for generations. It's just kind of gotten a little bit out of hand now, because the hitters have always known, and they've always been somewhat okay with it because it helps the pitcher's control, less likely to get hit by a pitch if they have more control of their pitches. But now it's gone a little too far. It's a little excessive.
Oh, poor baseball. It's
Yes,
like, hey,
that was funny.
we need you to cheat.
But then Garrett Cole came back.
But don't cheat too much.
Last night and shoved against the Twins and Josh Donaldson. So Josh Donaldson can take that and go home.
We like you to cheat just a little bit because home runs are good and people like home runs. But don't cheat too much. That's way too much cheating, guys, that we were doing. So we're gonna start to crack down a little bit more on steroids, but we still need those home runs because they're exciting. And chicks dig the long ball.
No, this is the first shirt I saw this morning.
Looks good, man.
Thanks. You look good too.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Why don't we just dive in, man? So let's first.
Which part? There's so much to talk about. Tony Vitello had some comments about Paul Maneri.
No, we get that.
Danny White talked about Neyland Stadium. Lindsey Nelson. Tony Vitello. There's so much.
I think the most important thing is laying down the facts. I think it's very important before reacting a certain type of way, good or bad, is that you first know the facts. I think one of the most embarrassing things ever is jumping to conclusions, going completely overboard, only to realize that you didn't have the facts and you're wrong. I think that's embarrassing, to be honest.
Yes.
So let's lay down the truth about the ticket distribution for those that missed yesterday, those that were not paying attention yesterday. We know the stadium is what it is. We know others, if you listened yesterday, you should know. But we understand that tickets were going to be sold to players' families. Tickets are going to be a first priority for donors and season ticket holders. Students are going to have to get their tickets. But the number, maybe folks didn't have a strong understanding of the number. So, Ben, why don't you lay down those facts for us, man, about the exact number of tickets and where they went, how they were allocated?
According to Tennessee, there were only about 500 tickets on sale yesterday morning. That is, A, because there aren't a ton of seats. There's only 4,000 seats in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. About that. That's a rough estimate. And after priority went to season ticket holders, to donors, and the opponent, which is the family of LSU players, the family of LSU coaches, and so on and so forth, that type of thing. After those priorities were made, season ticket holders, donors, opponent, and Tennessee last weekend committed 300 free student tickets for each and every game this postseason to reward the students for the incredible job and atmosphere that they have done and created throughout the season.
They need it. They deserve it.
Yep. So after those 300 free tickets, there were only about 500 tickets left on sale. Why did Tennessee choose to do it over the phone? I don't have that answer for you. I don't know. Why did Tennessee not communicate prior to that there were only 500 tickets on sale? I don't know. Those have been the two biggest complaints. And I get those complaints. Or maybe not even complaints, but the 2 points that people are frustrated after the fact about. And I get those 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
The 500 ticket thing and Tennessee not communicating that beforehand, folks still would have lined up to call and waited for nothing. So I don't know how big of a gripe that is, but I get it. So that is the context on Tennessee and its baseball ticket sales yesterday morning. A lot of people upset, and rightfully so. It's really unfortunate that only 4,000 people can see this baseball team on the verge of going to the College World Series. But there are only 500 tickets on sale because priority went to season ticket holders, donors, and opponents, and 300 free tickets went to students.
So there you have. If I wanted to go to the game, which I do, but I'm not going to be calling 4 hours before the release of the tickets and get in line. That's just it ain't that serious to me. But if I were someone that were to get in line for tickets and do all those things and be on hold and not be able to get through for a couple hours, I would be upset too. Mm-hmm. I would be disappointed. But here's where we differ, or I differ from others. I'm not going to scorch the earth. I'm not going to question Danny White's ability to be an AD. Like, I'm not going to make empty threats. Like, I'm not. That's where you got to not be a child. It's from being grown up. To understand. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. There's not enough seats. This is the root of the problem.
Yep.
Simple as that. It's not about this person messed up, that person messed up. This is an issue that was kicked. The can was kicked down the road years and years and years ago, and here we are. And in the very moment you need a bigger stadium, you don't have one because you didn't handle business years and years and years and years ago.
The demand far surpasses the supply.
Simple as that.
Far surpasses the supply. We talked about it yesterday. You mentioned it, that this is a prime example of supply and demand. You were teaching your daughter about supply and demand last week, and this is exactly the epitome of that.
Yeah, it's simple as that. So you understand it. Of course you're disappointed, you're upset, you're bothered, cool, whatever. But now that emotion, disappointment, frustration, it should turn into motivation to not let this happen again. That's where it should go. And I knew that Tennessee was working on the My All campaign, something that Danny White explained that was kind of brewing before he got here, but they just, and Danny's not going, I don't know if you noticed, but he ain't going to throw people under the bus before him, whether they deserve it or not. But they put their own spin on this campaign, which has to happen. It has to happen regardless of football winning or not. This has to happen. You have to be able to compete at a championship level, and you have to continue to separate yourself from the pack. Now, you're not going to always have the best stadium or the best facilities, but you never want to put yourself in a position where you have the worst or middle of the pack. You want to be at the top. Now, the stadium, Neyland Stadium, Danny White and Tennessee have been discussing renovations for Neyland Stadium for the 2022 season. And there's a ton of things that's on the list. But there's some things that you want to do now, that you can do now, that's going to have an impact, that are revenue generating. And one of those is add premium seating, lounge areas, and party decks to give a more modern touch to the west and north sides of the stadium. Adding a second video board behind the north end zone. Now, I like a second video board now. I do like that. There's times I've sat on north end zone. I was looking like Jameis Winston, trying to see what's going on the other side of the football field.
Or you sit on the south side under the Jumbotron and you can't see it at all.
Exactly.
If you sit under the overhang,
yeah,
you can't see it at all. And that's what Danny White spoke about specifically about adding the Jumbotron, is that he wants the people in the south end zone to be able to see what's going on the Jumbotron.
Tennessee, and this is a $500 million fundraising campaign goal, okay? This is the goal. That $200 million of that has already been committed, with roughly $70 million earmarked for enhancements to Neyland Stadium and the Anderson Training Center. I understand that some folks, they don't like new. They don't like change. They like things to be the way they are, but want to win. They want things to change as far as the result on the football field. So I just started doing some digging yesterday, Ben, on the history of Neyland Stadium. And Neyland Stadium went through changes from 1919 all the way up to present day. And Big Orange Mac would like this because he's a historian, man. But there's been expansions, modifications to Neyland Stadium for over 100 years. 1929, there was only 11,000 seats. No, excuse me. They added 11,000 seats in 1929. And then added 12,000 seats, 1938. 1948 season, the capacity was 46,000 people. They renamed the stadium Neyland Stadium in 1962 after the famous Tennessee coach. So there's a change. Started to construct the upper deck that added a whopping 50,000 seats. They added a press box. Added seating in the north end zone in the upper deck before the 1966, 68, 72, and 80 seasons. And that took the seating capacity in Neyland Stadium to 91,000. In 87, 42 luxury suites were added to the stadium. And then additional 78 added right before the 2000 season. And then it says the last large addition was completed before the 96 season, when 10,642 seats were added to the north upper deck. And that took the capacity to 104,544. And then some seats were taken out. In 2004, I was playing then, Tennessee approved a $200 million plan to expand and renovate Neyland Stadium in a couple different phases. And they added new club seats. And that took away from the capacity, 104,544. It took it down to 102. And then before the 09 season, sky boxes, press boxes, the club areas were renovated. Here's my point. Change gonna come. Sam Cooke said, change is inevitable. It's gonna happen. It has to happen. And here we are. And it's not just college sports. It's not just football. It is sports everywhere. There's a shift that's taking place. You see it with new stadiums being built, whether it's pro, college, whatever. The fan experience is different now than what it was 25, 30 years ago. We've heard complaints about ticket prices. Well, if you're going to pay this amount for tickets, at least you want to be comfortable. At least you want to be able to have fun. And the goal is to, not saying losing is fun, but you go to a game, because there's some folks that just tailgate, Ben. Mm-hmm. That the tailgating is actually more fun than the game for some folks.
Yep. And
they tailgate, they go to the game, they get hype at the tailgate, have a good time, and they go to the game and sit there and they cheer, whatever. But the plan looks like we want to bring the tailgate inside of the stadium during the game. And there's a different price point for those seats. The bar area. Mm-hmm. And this is my personal opinion. People can feel how they want to feel. I understand that some folks don't like change. That's cool, whatever. But it's just for me. For me, I like it. And for me, I don't need to be on a list of stadiums that have 6 digits. To me, it doesn't matter to me. Because on that same list, there are stadiums that the general public, they don't know the capacity size. For me, the things that matter is what's the experience? What's the impact? You can have 100,000, but if you sound like 50,000, does it really matter?
Nope.
If you're having fun at the game, you may lose. Listen, you may lose by a touchdown. You may lose by 3 points. But you don't know that until the fourth quarter, possibly when it happens. Now, no one can prepare for a beatdown that starts in the first quarter. It's a wrap. It's over. But enhancing the fan experience, we got premium seating going in. So if you wanna pay what you want to pay for those seats, cool. Those seats, cool. If you don't want to pay that number, standing room, bar atmosphere, lower price point, that's for you too. So you're appealing to different fans. I embrace change. I'm open-minded. I understand that things can't stay the same. You either get better or you get worse. And what we want is to not follow other folks in college football, our competitors. Remember, we had a whole conversation about the light show at Alabama and Georgia. And they did something that no one else did, and it brought attention to them. And we talked about here on the show, we had people call in how they just didn't want to follow the competitors. Well, Danny White said yesterday, some of it, yeah, he going to follow, make it better. He going to cheat a little bit, copy what other folks are doing. And then he also likes coming up with things that no one else has come up with and be the trailblazer. So if we could do something to get out in front, to be first, to be unique in this conference, to set us apart as far as fan experience, recruits coming to town. Because I know one thing, man, if a recruit comes to town and they get up in that bar area and having a good time, drinking their virgin daiquiris, who knows? They may love that place. Oh, man, that's different. That's different. Because I want to be different. I want to stand apart. And I know it's going to take getting a little uncomfortable to do that. And I know it's going to take changing some things here and there. The fall walk ain't going anywhere. The color orange ain't going anywhere. Run through the power T is not going anywhere. Checkerboard's not going anywhere. There's some traditions that you don't touch. But everything is not going to stay the same. How many fans are at Auburn Stadium? Are there
87,000, some about that.
I know when I was a recruit, and this was like early 2000. Well, this was like 02. I had no clue whose stadium was bigger. Absolutely no clue. All I know is when I went to an Auburn game, it was Auburn, Florida, and Steve Spurrier brought his number 1 ranked team into town. It was a night game, and Auburn won on a field goal.
That place gets loud.
Ben, all I know is I couldn't hear anything, and that was as a recruit, that was the loudest game I've ever been to as a recruit. I know that I've been to some, I went to some Alabama games, and it was pretty loud. They didn't have 100,000. My Tennessee game, I went to Michigan. I went to a Michigan State game. This is when Braylon Edwards was on Michigan and Carlos Rogers, RIP, was on Michigan State. That was the 2 best receivers in the country. And I was at that game in a big house. And the big house is 107,000 folks. It was quiet. You can hear a rat peeing on cotton. It was that quiet. It was nothing. But the game I went to when I came to Tennessee, me and my brother, was Tennessee, Kentucky. Middle of the day. I thought folks were studying for a test at the game. I feel like we was at the library. I'm not kidding. Georgia, 92,000. Pretty loud. Auburn, 87,000. Alabama, 101. And, that it wasn't always 101. LSU, 102. Clemson, 81,000. All these recruits going to Clemson. But Clemson don't even have, they're not even at 90. They're at 80. My point is, it doesn't matter as much as you think it matters as far as capacity. But I understand. It's changes. And sometimes they can be a little uncomfortable, which is why I understand and respect folks that are not on board with that right now. I get it. But for me, I'm on board. I'm excited, man. I'm excited about the transparency of the plan. I'm excited about the transparency of what we have to face. It ain't just, hey, we gotta pull together and this is what we gotta do. This is what we're facing. Go to iwillgivemyall.com and it's all listed right there. This is what we have to do, guys. We gotta do it together. Here's the plan. It's laid out for you. We talk about how we want to be the best. We talk about it, now we can be about it. Here's what we need to do. I need your help. That excites me. I'm sorry. Tony Vitello got folks jacked. Tony Vitello got folks jacked, man. Man, we outside playing baseball. We outside playing wiffle ball in the Swain household because of Tony Vitello. We working on slap bunting and everything in the backyard, man.
Swain girls going to be in the College Softball World Series.
Yep, they ain't going to Oklahoma though.
Why not?
I mean, unless they want to throw some jump man our way. A couple extra benefits. I mean, we'll take it.
I don't know that it works like that in softball.
Yeah, dang it. Only in football, huh?
And basketball.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
8 o'clock, we'll talk to Matt Moscona of 104.5 The Zone down in Baton Rouge, LSU, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. This weekend, Super Regional for a spot in the College World Series. There's been talk on both sides. Oh, I love it. Evan Russell, Tony Vitello talked to the media yesterday. We'll get to their comments, but, man, we got around the SEC. by our guy Ben McKee. So, Ben, take us away.
Yesterday, we mentioned that Texas A&M had a new baseball coach. Well, it looks like LSU is on the cusp of hiring itself a new baseball coach, and it's not Tony Vitello. According to Kendall Rogers, yesterday at 4:37 p.m., he tweeted out, multiple sources have informed D1 Baseball that former Oregon State legendary coach Pat Casey has emerged as the leading candidate for the LSU head coaching job. More could be coming on this very soon. So it seems like LSU has its new head baseball coach in its sights, Pat Casey, who retired from Oregon State, but I guess wants to get back in the game. I guess this would be the equivalent of Bob Stoops coming out of retirement to go to LSU. Oregon State has had a good program. And funny enough, Pat Casey retiring from Oregon State is why Drew Gilbert is at Tennessee. Drew Gilbert was committed to Oregon State for several years, and because of the coaching change, he decommitted and committed to Tennessee.
Is Pat Casey pulling the mic to board? I'm retiring. No, I just want to leave, but I'm retiring. Oh, LSU want me. Okay, I'll come out of retirement. And then Mike DeBoer went to Indiana. It was like the offensive coordinator the next year. Wait a minute, I thought you were retiring, man. Oh, you just retiring from here. We get it. Let's go. Let's go.
So that was the only noteworthy item that took place yesterday in the SEC.
I mean, for a couple weeks now, I didn't think Tony was going anywhere. So when I saw that news, I was like, okay. I mean, it wasn't like a big sigh of relief, but I understand that seals the deal for sure, right? It closes the door. Because, I mean, it is Tennessee luck.
Assuming that it does happen. It's not official. Tennessee Tiger, our LSU fan who listens to the show, who called in yesterday, said, don't even bring up that Pat Casey nonsense. The fan base is about the UT Shiano thing. Sounds like the fan base is not happy about Pat Casey.
Let's do it.
What do you mean, let's? It's not your problem. It's LSU fans' problem.
I know. I want to see them have a Shiano moment because I want to see the national media rail on them.
You see Rodney Nostell's comment?
I'm getting to it. There's a lot of comments, man, that's flown in here. So I want to get to the text box before we start having our guests. All right, so let me hit up Vol fans message at 703 says, please remind listeners that complain about not getting baseball tickets that they could have had priority tickets too if they simply purchased season tickets at the beginning of the year. Season tickets were $175 for 37 home games. That works out to be $4.73 per game. You didn't have to be a big donor to get tickets, but of course, donors got tickets. Someone has to pay for extra seats at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Some people need to really stop complaining. Tennessee makes it very clear when season tickets go on sale that season ticket holders and donors get priority during the postseason. Okay. A lot of us got caught jumping on the bandwagon too late, and that's okay.
And that is how ticket sales go everywhere for things like this. Season ticket holders always get priority at the professional level, at the college level, college football, college basketball, college baseball, at every level, every sport, season ticket holders and donors always get priority.
Yeah.
Just like if Tennessee were to make the SEC championship game this year, season ticket holders would get first dibs on tickets in Atlanta to the SEC championship game.
It's no different than investing in a stock or something when the stock is low. You win when the stock does well. You had a chance to invest in this Tennessee baseball team, get season tickets before the season, before they were ranked top 5 in the country, and before they are, they were where they are right now. And the folks that invested with them, before the season started, they got priority. As simple as that.
Swain, I think you should invest and buy a daddy hat. I think that's how you should invest. I think Swain needs a daddy hat.
Where are they?
At the Vol Shop.
when next time you gonna be on campus? Pick me up a daddy hat. Keep the change.
Keep the change.
How much they, about $45?
I think they're like 25, 27.
All right. I do need a daddy hat.
I can't tell you how many kids I saw wearing daddy hats over the weekend. It's pretty funny.
Vol fan, Ben, do you think Kendall Rogers' tweet about LSU hiring the retired Oregon State coach will distract the LSU team? The players were probably prepared for O'Sullivan, and hearing on Twitter that you might instead be getting a coach coming out of a 3-year retirement would be distracting for me if I was a player. Even though the coach won 3 natties, it would still be a shock for me. So the question is, Ben, do you think that LSU players will be distracted?
I don't think so, because I think they already have a ton of distractions as is with Paul Maneri and dealing with coaching rumors left and right, and they still went out and played good baseball this past weekend in Oregon. So it seems to me that at least for one weekend, LSU did a pretty good job of setting the distractions to the side and playing good baseball. So I don't think it will.
SY on the text box says, I want to give my thoughts on the My All campaign. I've been a fan since 1995. I've always watched football, then started watching basketball in the early 2000s, Lady Vol basketball for about the same period, and for at least the past 3 years of Tennessee baseball. I've never been so committed, and watching this new administration is inspiring. Today, I will be a member of the Shareholder Society. Go Vols. I'm all in for Vol Sports. Signed, Scott Young. Vol fan says they chose to do it over the phone to prevent scalpers from getting them all. So, questions about the process and
why over the phone?
Why over the phone? Vol fan says prevent scalpers.
That makes sense. And Danny White did say, not that specifically, but did say in his media availability yesterday that it was of the utmost priority to make sure that scalpers don't get their hands on any tickets. So that would be one way to do it.
There you go.
Although, couldn't somebody call in and pose as a Tennessee fan?
Just you gotta make it harder, man.
Which if it went like anybody who called on Twitter did, then they didn't get through.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta make it harder. Sometimes you're not gonna prevent anything from happening, but you just make it harder. James asked, where's the tailgate's going to be set up for the game? I don't have that information yet, and I don't know at this very moment, 7:49, if anything has been set in stone. I do know that that's something that's been discussed. I know Tony Vitello kind of mentioned the possibility on 104.5 The Zone, but
I know one thing. They have to make sure that the screen is synchronized with what is going on in the stadium. Because you said earlier, people can come and stream it on their phones.
I'll just being facetious, man. You know we ain't got no internet on campus.
That's fair. But you got to make sure that what the people are watching is in sync with what's actually happening on the field. That way, when something good happens and it's time to get loud, everybody gets loud at the same time, and you don't have the stadium getting loud after something happened, and then 30 seconds later, the street getting loud outside.
Yeah, it's not
you need it all loud at once.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
So I don't know how you do that. I'm not an IT guy, obviously. We're lucky if we make it 3 hours without Comcast getting in the way. So they need to make sure that happens if they do go through with this viewing party. I thought it would be cool to put them in Thompson Bowling, but I don't know. What do I know?
I think around the stadium will be ideal because you want that energy to be felt from outside the stadium. You know, the Nashville Predators had that same scene. The Toronto Raptors had that same scene when they made a deep playoff run and the Raptors won the NBA Finals. But that energy, was it really felt indoors?
I think it would be really cool to set up a projection on the football practice field.
Yep.
And it can kind of be like 4th of July where you come and you set up your lawn chairs and or what's it, a drive-in movie?
Yep.
Everybody pull up your lawn chairs, pull out the blanket, sit down and watch the game.
Potluck, and some of y'all can bring y'all's potato salad with raisins in it.
No,
you got potluck.
According to my sources, if you show up with potato salad with raisins in it, you'll be shown the gate to get out. And like you could easily let people onto the practice field because they have that little gate, the north side towards Stokely and Stokely Garage. You can open that wide open and let just people walk in. You don't have to they don't have to go through the football facility. You don't have to worry about that. So I think it'd be really cool. And I don't think people realize who aren't on campus as often. People don't realize how close that practice field is to the stadium.
When I was watching the game this past weekend, like I was looking in the background. I was like, oh, I can point out exactly where the DBs would work out and where the linebackers would work out, or where people would come in, where the players would come out to the field from the locker room. Like it's right there. It really is. Mm-hmm. All right, let me get back to the text box before we bring in Matt Moscona, my guy. Morgan says, Ben, based on other great college baseball stadiums in the space we have in Neyland Stadium, what's a reasonable capacity for future renovations?
I mean, the top stadiums in the league have like 10,000 or so. I don't know the official numbers off the top of my head. Forgive me. But if Tennessee is obviously capable of having a stadium of that capacity, and I would think if Tennessee had 10,000 seats this weekend, it'd be sold out still.
Absolutely. We had a conversation about if it was in Neyland Stadium, would it be sold out?
Yeah, which would not happen, by the way. We never actually answered that question yesterday.
You know why we didn't answer it?
The answer is no.
Nah, let's not get over too excited here.
Yeah. Although it would be fun to watch Drew Gilbert hit a grand slam off of the Jumbotron. that would be pretty fun. I think reasonably right now, 6,000 to 7,000 at the moment. I think Tennessee could get to that point, which is like right now that's great to add to practically double the attendance size, but it also stinks in my opinion because Tennessee's capable of so much more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to take baby steps first. You got to crawl before you can walk. So let's get that seating expanded down the left field line. But then if Tennessee continues to do what it's doing now, then even that won't be enough.
Well, honestly, Ben, I don't think they know what they can do or what the end result with the baseball renovations are because you don't know how much donations you're going to get. Mm-hmm. I think that's fluid, and even Danny White said they don't know yet. There's a lot of different possibilities, but they have been talking. And he has been talking to Tony Vitello for months. So there's some possibilities. Okay, Vol fan 87, Knox Vol fan 87 says people got the chill when it comes to Danny White. Other than a few comments, he has done nothing wrong up to this point. If anything, he's done more for the athletic department in the short time he's been here than the past AD did his whole tenure. He says, and by the way, I had to listen to the podcast from yesterday, but Ben, man, you got to miss that wedding. You could say you was in attendance for the first ever super regional at Lindsey Nelson.
I have no comment.
Do you guys expect turf in Neyland as part of the renovations? No, absolutely not. We are fortunate to have some of the best people in the business when it comes to field management in the world. No, I do not expect that out at all. Will Good says, question to all the Matt fans that can't get tickets. Where were you 5 years ago winning tickets? You would have already had more seats. Can't snap your fingers to turn 5,000 into 15,000. That's right. Chip Payne says, to me, it's not about the quality of seats in the stadium, but it's more about the quality for fans. Take some seats out, make it more comfortable for fans to attend games. Who cares if the stadium holds over 100,000? That's my take too, Chip Payne. The only time I used to hear about the stadium. Hold on, let me rewind it. The only reason I knew how many people sat in Neyland Stadium is because when Butch Jones was here, he used 102.455 to brand Tennessee. That was the only reason I knew how many people sat in Neyland Stadium.
And that's why you're a former Vol, because you don't know those type of details.
No, I care more about beating Florida, which I did twice, and beating Alabama, which I did 3 times, and beating Georgia, which I did 2 times. I care more about that stuff.
And having over 100,000 people in the stadium helped you do that.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Having good players and making plays and being better than the team helped me do that.
So
because we beat some of those teams on the road too, Ben.
Okay, Brian Maurer.
We beat some of those teams on the road. Nice try.
All right, Brian Maurer. It's my team.
I don't have any sleeve tattoos.
The players did it. The fans had nothing to do with it.
I don't have any sleeve tattoos.
All right, Brian Maurer.
I'm not transferring anywhere either. We're talking about it.
Brian Maurer's not transferring anywhere.
He was talking about it though. Tennessee Tigers says don't even bring up this Pat Casey nonsense. The fan base is about to have a UT Sharano thing. Please, LSU hire Pat Casey. I want to see it. I want to see the Tennessee fans sit there and watch with their popcorn and lawn chairs. LSU fans have a Schiano Sunday if they hire Pat Casey. Please, I want to see it. I want to see it. Chip Payne says, can we bring some gumbo with a hard-boiled egg in it to the potluck?
I'm good.
Nah, man, it's too hot for gumbo. But if it wasn't, you keep that gumbo at the house. We don't want that. No gumbo with hard-boiled egg in it. Nah, man. So Jimmy Himes, you keep your gumbo at the house. You could be good. We good, Jerry. Jerry posted that picture of the gumbo. I bet he thought that picture was it. Yeah, this is gonna get all the retweets and likes right here, baby. Oh, they're gonna be so jealous. They're gonna be asking me to make them a plate, make them a bowl. Oh man, I'm about to kill them with this one. Sin. Now I wait.
I just can't believe you skipped over Rodney and Austell's message.
Let me get to it then.
7:32 a.m.
We need to add some random polls around the stadium. Once the beverages start flowing, see what the polls do. This ain't Kansas basketball, Rodney, okay? This is not Kansas basketball. We have class here, okay? Rodney and Austell. And this ain't Magic City, man. Either. Oh, that gumbo. Let me stop talking about it, man, before I lose my appetite for the day. Let's talk to Matt Moscona of 104.5 The Zone. Get a little pulse of what's going on down there at LSU. My guy, Matt. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Joining us via the Iris Network's hotline this morning, my guy Matt Moscona, 104.5 Baton Rouge. Does a great job of covering the Saints, all things Louisiana sports, high school. LSU's baseball program is top in the country, top job in the country, and they have an opening. They have a pretty important game this weekend against Tennessee. But first, Matt, good morning.
Good morning, Swain, to you and all your nasty listeners.
Proud of it, man. Proud of it. Proud of it. Don't make me pull receipts of your nasty fans down there, you nasty Cajuns.
Man, not baseball, right? LSU baseball fans are civil, educated fans that know when to applaud good play from the other team. They've actually been known to give victory laps to opposing teams that come to Baton Rouge and win regionals. See, that's how classy fans do it, Swain, not you nasty people in orange.
LSU baseball, football, and basketball fans are all the same, Matt. You know that.
It's kind of weird how, like, when you cross a different threshold, you behave differently, but apparently that happened.
Like, I've been sitting back kind of watching the back and forth between T-Bob and the Tennessee fans. I'm like, what?
Hey, man, don't judge us by T-Bob. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying, that's your coworker, man. I've been.
Hey, man, we just happen to be on the same station. Don't judge me by T-Bob.
I think you might want to wash your hands if you're gonna be around him. You know, I think he admitted that he got some stuff going on there. But anyways, like I was sitting back, just kind of sit back watching. I'm like, guys, none of us are class. None of us have really class. All of us are classes. If you're an SEC fan, there's going to be times when like your fan base will be pointed out for being classless because there's so many people in the fan base. There's going to be a small, minority that's going to show out and do something that's embarrassing. LSU, you have your experience with Alabama fans at a Crystal. I mean, that happened, but that doesn't speak for the entire fan base. So I think it's awesome. I think it's great. I think that's what makes SEC sports and college sports great is the back and forth between the fan bases, and I don't take it that serious. But, Matt, how are the LSU fans feeling about the possibility of LSU bringing in Pat Casey, retired coach from Oregon State? Y'all feeling that or no?
So, man, that's complicated. LSU hired an athletic director, Scott Woodward, who's known for splash hires, right? I mean, he got Chris Peterson. He was the guy who crowbarred Chris Peterson out of Boise to Washington. And then he got Jimbo from Florida State to Texas A&M, and then he comes here and he gets Kim Mulkey from Baylor to LSU. I mean, that's his MO, man, is that he don't aim small. Pat Casey's a three-time national championship winning coach, but Swain, I mean, an undeniable part of Pat Casey's legacy is the Luke Heimlich story. And for those that don't remember, Heimlich was the national pitcher of the year. I mean, a very likely 1-1 guy, like the first pick of the first round of the draft guy. And while he was at Oregon State, it came out that when he was a young teenager, a family member, a young 6-year-old family member, accused him of inappropriately touching her. And he had to register as a sex offender. And anyway, that became a very complicated part of Pat Casey's legacy. Now, Heimlich denies ever having done anything wrong, and he never registered, and so there was a lot of reasons why the folks at Oregon State didn't know about it. There's a lot of complexities there, but the bottom line is LSU is in the midst of a Title IX investigation, and you're going to bring in a coach that a very ugly blemish on his sterling baseball resume is that Luke Heimlich story. It didn't take long for a lot of LSU fans and really national media and women's rights groups to jump all over that story. And I'm really curious to see if this does get pushed through, how LSU gets in front of that part of the story, because you can't ignore it.
Do you remember when Tennessee tried to hire Graciano and the reaction from the Tennessee fan base? Do you feel like that could possibly happen?
It's funny, Swain, because I've actually had a lot of LSU fans say, like, literally use that as a verb and say fans need to Shiano Pat Casey. Like, I mean, it's I'm curious. So for the record, Swain, what I've been told is that LSU and Pat Casey, there's mutual interest, and Pat Casey was going to take about a day to mull it over. Like, my guess is Pat Casey wanted to gauge the reaction. Otherwise, he would have never floated that story out there, right? It would have never leaked. I think he wanted to gauge the reaction, and the fact that a lot of it has been pretty visceral, I wouldn't be surprised if he turned it down. Honestly, I mean, I think he'd like to coach again. Obviously, you got retired for 3 years, and you come out of retirement, you fly from Oregon to Baton Rouge out of a courtesy, right? I mean, you're legitimately interested if you're going through this process, But I don't know that. I remember when Pat Casey retired, he said, "Look, if guys could just coach ball, they do it forever. But when you start dabbling in all the stuff away from the field that goes along with being a coach, it loses some of its shine." And I think he's probably getting a reminder of that right now.
Yep. And we have another reminder of that in college basketball because Coach K and Roy Williams sitting on down. So, no, I can certainly understand that. Matt, this is what your baseball coach had to say a couple months ago. Even though the crowd wasn't huge, Tennessee was an extremely hostile environment. They were nasty. They were being nasty. At the time, we said that's something you don't say publicly because it kind of makes it look like you're making an excuse. Kind of a little soft, but I've been in the position as a player where things are said to you that is a little out of bounds. I'm just surprised that Paul Mainieri came out and said those things. Him being at LSU as long as he has, I'm sure he's been to football games and he has seen and heard some of the same stuff. Your take on that when you first heard that?
So, by the way, that was on Hester and T-Bob's show. on our radio station. So I don't know, do you have the audio of it? Because if not, I can send it to you if you want it.
No, I watched the video after T-Bob. After T-Bob was hyping us up to check out his views, and he was thanking us for pumping up his view count. So I wanted to go pump it up some more. I'll listen to it too. So T-Bob, man, you got another listener, another viewer.
He's definitely good at instigating. So the thing with Paul, honestly, Swain, if you want an answer to a question, just ask Paul Maneri. He doesn't do coach speak. He doesn't filter. In part, that's actually kind of common with baseball coaches. They tend to be a little more transparent. But Paul is by far the most transparent coach I have in 15 years that I have ever coached at LSU, or that I've ever covered at LSU. So it didn't surprise me at all that he would say it. You're right that there's obviously a segment of any fan base that is raunchy and crude, and everyone who is a normal, rational thinking human would like to disassociate from. I'll tell you the thing that apparently irked Paul was that there were some comments toward Trey Morgan that were, and Trey Morgan is a young black kid that were not civil, and that's what really upset Paul. But like you said, Swain, you can go anywhere and get that. It's honestly, this has only become a thing here because it's become a thing in Knoxville. I really don't think that it's a major talking point. I'm being serious. I really don't think it's a major talking point here among fans about Tennessee fans or the environment or anything like that. Look, honestly, as a baseball fan, Swain, I was pumped seeing Lindsey Nelson this past weekend, man. The kid firing the helmet to center field, pimping home runs, and Vitello doing the flip. Like, I'm a guy that is a baseball guy by nature, and I think the sport needs more of that. I hate the unwritten rules about you can't bat flip or pimp home runs, or somebody gets hit, an opponent gets hit. Like, the unwritten rules of baseball are stupid. Yeah. I love energy. I love emotion. Tennessee's got a lot of it. I'm honestly really, really excited that there's going to be a full stadium for super regional baseball. And honestly, Swain, I think LSU does have a really good chance to go up there and win this super regional.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. Usually, when you have tournament formats like this, it's not about the team that was good week one or even middle of the season. It's about who's playing hottest at the right time. And Tennessee is certainly playing well right now too. Yep. But LSU is taking advantage of opportunities that was out in front of them, and they're playing well too. And then you have Paul Maneri, who's retiring. I know those players want to leave him out on a good note. So how do you kind of see LSU playing, and who needs to have a good showing for LSU to have more than just a chance but actually win?
Yeah. So if LSU was playing Arkansas, I would tell you they have no shot of winning. If LSU was playing Vanderbilt, I'd tell you they have no shot of winning. It's just a bad matchup. The thing about Tennessee, and I do mean this like with incredible respect for the Tennessee team, because you don't win the division and host a super regional and become a national seed if you haven't been extremely consistent throughout the year. The series that LSU played in Knoxville earlier this year was really bizarre, if you remember it. Jaden Hill had not yet gone down with injury. It was the first weekend that LSU flipped its pitching rotation, where Marceau went on Friday and then Hill went on Saturday. It's also a weekend that got disrupted by weather, and LSU was walked off twice in that regional. So the matchup is one that is actually manageable for LSU, meaning if Chad Dallas had 11 strikeouts against LSU that day, and it was that Friday, it was the first time LSU, a lot of those freshmen, had ever been on the road in the SEC. So they've been through a lot of different grinds now on the road in the league, and the pitchers that have given LSU trouble are the guys that really are overpowering. Guys like Kumar Rocker or Chad Leiter or Jack Leiter or Christian McLeod from Mississippi State. And Tennessee doesn't have those guys. And I know LSU hit the last time they were in Knoxville, and I think they're going to hit again. Now, the big problem they could have, Swain, is LSU just had to play 5 games in 4 days. And the pitching, I have no idea how they're going to bounce back after being taxed. and I know Tennessee can hit as well. LSU can win this series, but I don't think you're going to see a 3-1 game like you saw the Friday night with Chad Dallas and Landon Marshall. I think you're going to see a lot more offense in this series. And if LSU hits, I legitimately think they can win this series.
Matt, I want to go back to the LSU coaching search and ask you about the LSU perspective on Tony Vitello. Tennessee fans have been worried about Tony Vitello potentially leaving Tennessee for LSU, and I realize that Tony Vitello is not at the top of LSU's list. At least it doesn't seem like he is. But I still imagine that his name has been floated out while the coaching search has been going on. So what do you think the reaction would be if LSU tried to come after Tony Vitello? And do you have listeners or people tweeting at you saying that they should go after Tony Vitello?
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's definitely a portion of the fan base that's noticed, sees the youth, the energy, and the success, and says, go get that guy. And I think he's really respected also among baseball circles. The reality for LSU is they're too far down the road at this point. And I think early in the process they identified that wasn't an avenue they were going to go. My understanding is that, and I don't know if you all have any information that I don't, but that Vitello and Tennessee are quite happy, and that Tennessee's prepared to make him a pretty sizable offer. And I don't think that was a direction LSU was looking to go. So I think he's a phenomenal young coach. I think he can build a really successful program in Knoxville. Heck, he already has. But yeah, I don't think that that's a direction LSU is going to go with its search if they get beyond Pat Casey.
What about Kevin O'Sullivan? What's the scoop there?
Yeah, so that's a really interesting one because he's the guy that LSU identified very early in the process as the guy they were targeting. And a lot of people might say, why would he ever leave? And I totally understand that. But as simple as I could put it, LSU has more people at a midweek baseball game against an in-state school than Florida had at its national championship celebration. LSU is just if you're not familiar with the baseball culture here, the best way to describe it is it's like Alabama football or Kentucky basketball. Whatever that equivalent is for baseball, that's LSU. You have every resource you would ever need, but you also have completely unrealistic outsized expectations. And some coaches look at that and scoff, and some crave that. And as I understand it, Kevin O'Sullivan is open to this because he wants a program that has some juice. And no matter how much he wins at Florida, it's just never going to happen at Florida. So LSU got pretty far down the road with Kevin O'Sullivan. As I understand it, that is still very much on the table. And I know LSU is prepared to open up a pretty big checkbook to get him here if they ultimately decide to make him an offer. I think there are some away from the field hurdles that LSU has to clear to get O'Sullivan in Baton Rouge. But it would be a major pull if they were able to do it from a conference rival, a guy that's won a championship. And I think that's a very real possibility that could happen.
Matt Moscona, 104.5 Baton Rouge there, ESPN and in Baton Rouge. Matt, last question, man, and probably the most important question. Are you a gumbo guy with the egg or without the egg?
I have never had egg in my gumbo, ever.
Is that a thing down there?
Maybe. Like, I just learned the other day, Swain, that some people put celery in their gumbo, and some swear it's the only way to do it. And I've never had celery in my gumbo. So even though I was born in New Orleans and I've lived in this state my entire life, I guess I'm learning that there are still some things that, even after 38 years of living, I still have to experience. So egg and celery in a gumbo, I guess I'll have to check off that box.
Well, next time you come to Knoxville, I know somebody that can hook you up with some.
I will look forward to that very much, Swain. I wish I was going to be there this weekend, man.
Yeah, man, I know we could hang out, but one day we'll hang out again, man. One day.
I'll look forward to it.
Hey, well, Matt, thank you so much for joining the program, man. Yeah, you're killing it. For those that want, coverage from the LSU perspective on this weekend, Super Regional Tennessee and LSU, follow Matt Moscona right there on Twitter. And Matt, man, appreciate you, man, for joining us.
Always, Swain. See you, man.
My man. Appreciate Matt for joining the program today. I had to ask that question, man. I need to know, man. I could ask Chris Brown, but I mean, you know, I had Matt Moscona right there. I need to ask a Louisianimal is what Lil Wayne would call. You good? You good, Stokes?
Stokes or Ben?
I was thinking of Stokes because him and Stokes trash talked each other because of the Saints and the Falcons. Are you good, Ben?
I don't know, am I?
I'm asking you.
I'm always great.
All right, Chris Lowe's going to join us at 8:30. A lot that Tony Vitello said on radio, a lot that was said by Tennessee's athletic director, Daddy White. So we got to bring in the big guns for this one. So we're going to bring in Chris Lowe here in about 9 minutes. Let me get to the text box if we can. Volstone, I was thinking the same thing. Did he just use Butch Jones? This is the first time our player traveled excuse.
Yes, he did.
I think it's I think it's a legitimate. I think it affects you. Like I really do. I think it does. Like the first time you travel, it's different than playing at home. It's totally different. But anytime you hear someone mention it, it's hard not to think about Butch Jones. Stop letting Butch Jones trigger y'all. Volstorm. Can't even say resilient without thinking about Butch Jones.
Well, you did get triggered by Matt saying that as well. So
I didn't get triggered, but I thought about Butch.
You need to stop letting Butch live rent free in your head.
No, I really thought about Butch when he said that. When he said that they had a bunch of players that haven't flown in a very, very long time or ever. And I thought about that. It does have an effect, but it's not a good excuse for losing.
Yeah, and the what he said about the Trey Morgan experience surprised me because it's June 10th, and that's the first we've heard of it. Not saying that it didn't happen at all. It very well could have. And I said this that Tuesday morning after he made those comments on Monday, after Paul Maneri did. I said it Tuesday morning. That was when there were still a ton of empty seats because of COVID in the stadium. You could hear everything being said. And there wasn't a single reaction to anybody saying anything over the top. So, again, not saying that it didn't happen, but why are we just now hearing about that June 10th? And all the chants that were directed towards Trey Morgan and things that were yelled at him, I could hear it from my seat. Truly, I could hear word for word what Tony Vitello was yelling at the umpire. You could hear everything in the stadium. I never once heard anything that over the top.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
We'll see.
I know
we'll see.
Tony Vitello was asked about why Paul Maneri said that his players didn't handle things with class, and Tony Vitello referenced that the Tennessee native on LSU's baseball roster was running his mouth, and then Tennessee's players began running their mouth. So I love Paul Maneri calling Tennessee players classless when it's his player who starts the whole deal and was acting classless.
I love it, man. I love it. I wish Paul Maneri changes his mind and decides to come back, man. I love this, man. But it's not going to matter. This rivalry is going to continue after Paul Maneri is on his rocking chair or in his rocking chair. This is great, man. I love the back and forth between fan bases. Tennessee Tiger says, I'm giddy over here. I get Swain, Ben, and Moscona all at one time. Thanks for hearing both sides. Come on, you know how we do it. You know we're going to hear both sides. Matt, low-key giving off Butch vibes. He's not a coach, so it don't matter. He's not a coach. He's just a radio guy. From experience, traveling for the first time in an airplane and going to play a game, it's different than being at home. But still, it don't sound good when you mention it.
After you got swept.
It just doesn't. Simple as that. Volville says, if you're a black player and your coach says another team was racist and they actually weren't, how does that make you feel? I'm not jumping to conclusions on what was said. So we got to find out what was said. This is the first time we've heard anything about it before I even go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. What else is here on the text box? Copes Vol says, Swain, you know he's eating. This is what it says. I ain't making it up. The white version of gumbo and not eating the version Uncle Earl cooks in the kitchen while drinking a pint of brown with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. No, I think Matt Moscona is eating that real gumbo. Listen, he said he was born in New Orleans, born down there, born and raised down there. Matt knows all the real places.
You ever been to New Orleans?
No. I've been to Lake Charles at a basketball tournament, and that was the first time I had some Louisiana gumbo and all that stuff, and I was like, oh my God, this is different. I was supposed to go down several times when Meacham was playing to go, watch him play and visit him. It just never happened. Having a young family, and I was actually supposed to go hang out with Matt too. We had planned it because we had met each other in Birmingham at SC Media Days a couple years ago, hit it off, and I was supposed to go down there when Tennessee played LSU. We supposed to hang out, it just never happened. So
I've never been either.
Yeah, man, that's somewhere that me and my wife have been talking about going for years now. And now Meach is not even playing anymore, so it's like, okay.
I think y'all should still take a week next month and go.
Maybe.
I think you should do it.
Maybe. What we will do is we'll take a break, and then we'll come back with our guy Chris Lowe here on the Swain Event, and then we'll get back to the text box after we talk to Chris. So stick around. Be right back.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? A true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Joining us on the Irish Networks hotline is Chris Lowe. Only 500 tickets were available after season ticket holders, donors, players' families, and then 300 tickets to the students. I can guarantee you he got one of those 500 tickets because he's VIP. He's Hollywood. He's big time. He is the senior writer of ESPN, and you can never deny an ESPN employee tickets to a super regional. That is Chris Lowe. Chris Lowe, good morning.
It's great. Good morning, man. I'll be standing out there in standing room only with you.
No, man. No, you're going to
We'll
be
out
inside.
there. We'll be out there going down the slides and swings with Adrian and Audrey, the swing girls.
Hey, man, we don't even have a luxury suites, and you're going to be sitting in them this weekend.
No, I'll be in the standing room only, standing right beside you. Ben will be up in the media, the auxiliary media area. I think they got the media sitting up on the press box.
Yep, all year.
Because that press box is so old, Swing. I don't know if I want to sit up in that press box.
Unless your insurance is updated.
It's like a triathlon to get to the top. It's got no elevator.
It's like American Gladiator.
You know, I was talking to somebody about this recently, not to make light of it. I mean, I'm being completely serious here. What if somebody got sick up there or had some type of issue with their heart, or you had to get EMS up there to get them? What would you do?
I don't know, Chris.
Which is all the more reason people look at Tennessee baseball facilities over the land, and that's just one example. I mean, they foreclosed on Tennessee baseball a long time ago, which is the beauty of what Tony's done. Is it's now or never.
Yeah, and
If you're going to keep him and you're going to say, all right, we're going to be serious in baseball and we want to be a national player in baseball, it's like now, right this minute.
Well, that's why we see the "I will give my all" campaign, because it's going to take for everyone to donate, to raise money, to do all the things that needs to be done on campus, starting with Tennessee baseball. Danny White said yesterday that baseball probably has the widest discrepancy with result on the football field and results on the baseball diamond and facilities, and that's something that needs to be addressed. Also, there's been discussions about reducing the capacity in the stadium. That's something that Coach Fulmer, had talked about, and that was kind of in the works before Danny White. But we saw the renderings. It's there at IWillGiveMyAll.com, and it features some really cool stuff, at least in my opinion. But going under that 100,000 threshold, and there's only a few schools that can say that they are over 100,000. So I understand certainly some folks would kind of feel a certain type of way about that. But Chris, you've been to a lot of different stadiums around the country. Some with large seating capacities, and some without. In those experiences, what are some of the stadiums that you've been to where you didn't have 100,000, but they were still loud, still made an impact?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be 100,000, to be a 100,000 seat stadium, first thing you got to get 100,000 in there. When's the last time? How many times has Tennessee had 100,000 bodies in Neyland Stadium over the last however many years? I mean, seriously, what would you say? How many times?
I don't remember, man. Maybe Oklahoma, Florida in 16.
Not a whole lot. But I think it's 100,000. I think Tennessee's taken a lot of pride over the years to say they had a 100,000 seat stadium. But I think it's more important to have, as you just pointed out, a stadium that's lively, a stadium that has the bells and the whistles, a stadium that can help generate revenue with, nice up-to-date suites and luxury seating, patios. You go to some of these stadiums now, and they have what they call the zone area, where there'll be big patios and then some seating up under that, and then you go back inside where there'll be areas to eat food and all that kind of stuff. Again, to help generate income with your donors, because that's the way you do it. Neyland Stadium needs some work. I mean, it really does. They did a lot of work on it several years ago, improved the entrance significantly when Mike Hamilton was here. Because it was, as you remember, it was just like old steel girders when you were walking in to the main entrance of Neyland Stadium. Basically, it looked the same as it did when the General was here. But so they have done a nice job on the facade outside, but now and wide the concourses and different things. But it's still, I think, inside it needs some work to catch up. I mean, some of the top stadiums that don't have huge. I'm trying to think some of the ones I've been to that don't have huge, capacities. Alabama's done a lot of work on it, but it still is right up there, way up over 90,000 to 100,000, I guess. I would put it up there as far as the amenities with anybody's. And there are a lot of older stadiums that schools have refurbished. I mean, and done some things. The Horseshoe at Ohio State. Texas has done some nice things there to the Darrell Royal Stadium. But stadiums, I think, are, to me, there's two things with stadiums in football. Number one, you want to have boxes and suites and seating and things that attract your wealthiest donors so you can generate income, right? That's the way you do that. Number two is you want it to be complete with all the player amenities, because when kids come on campus, as you know, Swain, you were a highly rated recruit with a lot of different schools recruiting you. Moms and dads and uncles and granddads, they're all keeping score. Well, Michigan and Florida and Alabama have this. How come Tennessee doesn't have it? And I'm talking about, player lounges and I'm not saying Tennessee is way behind in some of these things, but locker rooms, all the things that players want to be a part of and are helpful and a big deal to them, not only at the stadium, but at the football complex. Well, Tennessee's done a really nice job with the football complex. It's one of the nicer ones out there that I've been to. But I still think there's ways to improve with the stadium. And I know that's on Danny White's, it's on his plate. It's a priority for him. But baseball, you're right, man. Tennessee's so far behind in baseball, it's laughable as far as facilities. And what Tony's been able to do, despite that, I heard Danny say it yesterday, and he's right, that there's probably the widest discrepancy between what they have facility-wise at Tennessee in baseball and the people they have to beat in the rest of the conference in any other sport, and I don't think it's close. I mean, if you go around and see all these schools and their stadiums, South Carolina's, Ole Miss's, Arkansas's, LSU, I said this recently. Kentucky spent $50 million, Swain, on their stadium. 50. Florida spent over 60. Schools have spent a ton of money on baseball recently. Mississippi State Stadium, I mean, that's such a cool setting. They've got some of the luxury porches and suites out there in the outfield. But if Tennessee really wants to be an elite baseball program over a period of time and sustain that, then they're going to have to come up with the money. They're going to spend some money. I don't know how much. I've heard figures anywhere from 20 to 30 to $40 million that they're going to need to really upgrade Lindsey Nelson Stadium in such a way that can at least get them somewhere in the ballpark. And I think that's critical, to take the left field bleachers all the way down. I mean, what other stadium in the SEC? I mean, Ben, you sit up there in the auxiliary press box suite, so you can see. What other stadium can you look out and see a road going right beside the stadium?
Not many.
You looked out. I mean, now they've got the temporary bleachers there now, which was nice they did that to get more people in. But you can see that road and without those bleachers going down beside the stadium.
Well, so, Chris, the crazier thing is, what other SEC baseball stadium has an active parking lot in it?
That's a good point. I mean, that's why they need to. There's a lot they need to do, and they just need to get it up to date in suites and porches and patios, and take those left field stands all the way down, and clean it up. They got to do something with the press box. I mean, the press box. When's the last time they power washed that thing?
I told them I would, volunteer my services, bring my pressure washer down there, but I do it for a modest fee of $100,000.
So and I'm not trying to pile on, but it's facts are facts.
No doubt about it, and that's why, I think the fundraising campaign is it's out there. It's transparent. It's I'm on the website right now, and I mean they have all the renderings, from football to the practice field. They even have tabs on season tickets and the percentage of season tickets that are being sold so far. So it's out there. It's laid out for everybody to see it. There's no secret of what has to happen. You mentioned that you watched Danny White's press conference yesterday, or his media availability with the Knoxville media. What are some other things that stood out to you that he said?
Well, I mean, number one, I think he's very aware. This is not like he's, it's not like he's been sitting on his hands. He's very aware of what needs to happen here. And he's been in contact with all the, the key people, all the key donors, his coaches. I mean, he and Tony have talked a lot. He's talked with the president, the chancellor there. I mean, this is something they've been working on for a while, because they knew as this season played out in baseball that Tony was going to have a lot of suitors, and they also knew that whether Tony's their coach or not, that if they really wanted baseball to continue on this uptick, that they had to spend some money and do some things. Listen, Danny just got here, and Tony is. I mean, he's Mick Jagger there now, man, on campus. He's the guy. He's Elvis.
He is.
And so if I put you or me or Ben, we put ourselves in Danny White's shoes, the last thing he wants to do is lose Tony Vitello. I mean, you know how that'll go over.
No, it'd be bad.
And so I think they're doing everything, and I think they've come up with a package that they feel like is really good and really fair and very competitive. I think you're going to see them offer him a deal that would make him one of the highest paid coaches in the country, and with money, additional money that would take care of his staff and his assistant coaches, and some type of commitment to spend millions of dollars on the stadium. And that's what it's going to take to keep him. Here's the thing about Tony, and I know this 100%. He's not holding this over the Tennessee administration's head. He's 1,000% on his team, getting ready for the super regionals, and has been like this from the get-go. But when you had LSU, which is, I'd say LSU is the premier baseball job in America, that's interested, you're not just going to stick your hand up and say, no, I have no interest. You're at least going to listen. And but I think that's why you hire an agent like Jimmy Sexton. He can deal with all that, and you can coach your ball team. I think that's what Tony's been doing. Is he? Listen, nobody's more. Ben spent a lot of time covering this year. Nobody's more competitive and more dialed in, and has a more of a singular focus than Tony does. And that's, you've seen his team play that way. And you talk about never say never or never say die. I mean, this team is the epitome of that, and that comes straight from him. So I think he likes Knoxville. I don't think he wants to. I would be a lot more concerned. And listen, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not. If he goes to LSU, then it's just because he feels like he can't turn that opportunity down. It'd be like a coach going to the Dallas Cowboys, or Brad Stevens when he went to the Boston Celtics. Some of those jobs, or somebody in college basketball going to Kentucky. Some jobs you just can't say no to. So if he goes, he goes. But it's not like he does not like Knoxville. Tony likes Knoxville a lot. He likes the people here. He likes the way they treated him. He likes what he's built. He loves seeing the support and the way the community and the university and the fans have rallied around the program. I mean, he loves that, man. He likes where he lives. So that's the good news for Tennessee. It's not like he's looking to get out. He's single, so it's not like you have a family to my family doesn't really like it here. They're not sure about moving. I remember when Tennessee tried to hire Charlie Strong from Louisville, and he had all but taken the job. He's told me this. But his girls were in school then at Louisville. They were entrenched, and they really didn't want to make the move. And that really sort of sealed the deal for him to stay at Louisville. Well, Tony doesn't, there's not that factor involved with Tony, and he likes it here. So I think that Tennessee's got that going for him.
Unless he's a baby daddy or something, got some kids he'll know about.
Well, I know you said that. I didn't say that.
So
if that gets out there, that Jason Swain. All right, Chris Lowe is saying right now, Jason Swain said that, not me.
just joking. Just joking.
But he does. And Ben, I know you've talked to him a lot. He does like Knoxville a lot. He likes living here. I don't think he wants to leave. Some coaches just don't like a town.
He ain't going nowhere.
Or they get tired of it, or they see greener pastures elsewhere. I don't think that's the case with Tony. Now, again, if it's just because you don't want to pass up a chance to go coach at the Taj Mahal job in all of college baseball, I think we get that. But sometimes you do that, it doesn't work out. I've had Monty Kiffin tell me many times that he said, Chris, we should never left Tennessee to go to USC. And Lane has sort of said, the same thing after being here for a year. But he went because it was USC. That was his job, his dream job, where he was before. And he just, he was only, 34, 35. He couldn't say no. And, but in retrospect, and of course, I don't think he knew how bad the sanctions were going to be at USC. But in retrospect, if he'd had that decision to do over, I know from Monty, his dad's perspective, they would have stayed. So, there's a lot of factors that go into this. But I'll say this: Tennessee is doing everything they can, and this is, kudos to Danny and Randy Boyd and the chancellor and the key donors. They're doing everything they can and then some to try to keep Tony Vitello, and they desperately want to.
Chris, there's been a lot of talk about college football playoff expansion I'm just curious as to your thoughts on the potential of expanding to 12 teams. Do you think that's too much? Do you think expansion is something that shouldn't happen, should happen? Just your thoughts on potentially expanding to 12 teams.
Well, they're having all those conversations now with conference commissioners, and I think something's probably going to come out in the next day or two on sort of what those different scenarios are, because they've discussed a lot of different things about the playoff size, format, the way they go about it, basically everything that touches the college playoff. The commissioners, and there's a working committee among commissioners for the playoff, and then they're going to all go to their ADs in the different conferences and sort of say, all right, what do you like, what do you not like? I think the thing to remember here is whatever comes out of this, it's not going to affect the playoff this year or next year. So it would not affect the 21 or the 22 season. I hope then they don't go to 12 teams. I think that's too many. I think to this point, 4 has been okay. I mean, can we improve on 4? Yeah. Is there going to be controversy when the 5th and 6 teams don't get in? Yeah. But you know what? If we go to 8 or 10 or 12, there's still going to be controversy who doesn't get in. I think it just dilutes college football if you go that many teams. I really do. I know everybody says, well, we got to make college football more than a regional sport. It's the same schools getting in every year. It's Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State and Oklahoma, Notre Dame, some. Well, guess what? If you go to 8 or 10, those schools are still going to get in. How many of the semifinal games in the playoffs have been close to this point in the playoffs?
It hasn't been.
A lot.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
And that's just with 4 teams. So let's say you go to 12, man, and one plays 12, 2 plays 11, or maybe the first 4 seeds get by. I don't know how they would work, because I think they're talking through all these scenarios. But my point is, I don't think if you expand it, it means that you're going to have necessarily more upsets. It's not basketball. You're not going to have the 15 knocking off the 2 or the 14 knocking off the 3. You're not going to have the equivalent of that you do in basketball, or the 12 and the 5. Football is just a different sport. Now, here's what I like about expansion. I like giving the little guy a chance on that stage. I don't think BYU or Coastal Carolina could have beaten Ohio State or Alabama last year, but it would have been, last year would have been pretty cool to at least see them on that stage, see what they could do, because they both had terrific seasons, both with great quarterbacks, different types of offenses. I mean, I think that would be intriguing to at least see those schools or one of those schools get a shot every year. I tell you, the one thing I would not want to see, and I think would really be a huge mistake, is I don't want to see it locked in that, let's say, so there's 5 Power 5 conferences. I would not want to see a rule put in that if this team wins the Pac-12 or this team wins the ACC, then they're automatically in, because I think you set yourself up for all sorts of issues. I always go back to, was it 3 or 4 years ago, that Clemson played a 6-6 Pitt team in the ACC championship game. Now, what are the chances Pitt was going to win that game? But what if Pitt would have won it? And all of a sudden you got 6-6 Pitt. People say, well, they won the ACC championship, they deserve it. Well, aren't you trying to get the best teams in there? Isn't that what we're trying to do? And
yeah.
I know that's subjective, but I would not. I don't want to see a rule put in that if you win your conference championship, then you're automatically in. I don't know. We're gonna expand though. That's inevitable. The playoff is going to be expanded. I think the only question is how many teams, what the format is. Will it be buys for the first couple teams? The other thing I like is you hear all this all this chatter about player safety and let's do what's best for the players, and I think a lot of that's legitimate. So let's say we went guys to 12. That's going to extend the season, a couple more weeks at least?
Absolutely.
So that means potentially, what did Bama play last year? Well, last year's not a good gauge because you only had 10 games. so some of these teams, Clemson and Bama, when you had 12 games, you'd end up playing, 15 games? So you're telling me maybe we're going to get up to 16 or 17 games in a season? That's a ton, man.
Yeah, I think 12's too much, Chris, but kind of like what you were saying, my whole thing is that college football is the only sport in which at the beginning of the season, not everybody in the sport has a legitimate chance to play for a national championship, and that has to change.
Yeah, but college football is a lot different than other sports, too.
I get it.
It's like – it just is. I remember Roy Kramer always saying that, that college football, one of the things that made college football so special and so unique is that there's really not another sport just like it. It's not the NFL. It's not the NCAA basketball tournament. And that Saturdays in Baton Rouge and Knoxville and Columbus, Ohio, those Saturdays throughout the season really, really matter. And we've seen that already. There have been a couple of really good Ohio State teams that got beat. I can remember Michigan State beating them one year, and that was a great Ohio State team that knocked them out of the playoff. You go back to the year that Penn State won the Big Ten championship and beat Ohio State, but they got beat earlier that year badly by Michigan, and they didn't make the playoffs. So I still think the way it's set up now in college football, that you have those Saturdays throughout the season, that you better come play good football that Saturday with a 4-team playoff. Now, granted, Ben, if we get to 8 or 12, it's probably not going to matter as much. Let's use Ohio State that year that Michigan State beat them. In an 8-team or 12-team format, they would have gotten in easily that year, even with that upset loss. I think they lost at home that year to Michigan State on a last-second field goal. In an 8 or 12-team format, they get in easily that year. But with 4, they don't. And I think that's part of the intrigue that Commissioner Kramer was talking about, that college football is a little bit different. Listen, I'm all for if there's a way to make it better and a way to give some teams maybe a chance. As I said earlier, I'd love to see a BYU or a Coastal Carolina, or back when, Boise State had it rolling. Now, that was back during the BCS.
Mm-hmm.
You'd love to see those teams at least on that stage and what they could do. But I would warn that just because we have more teams in it doesn't necessarily mean that the usual suspects are going to keep on winning the championship. That to me is the fallacy in all this. Well, if we get 8, 12 teams, you start giving more teams a chance. You're not going to have Bama and Ohio State and Clemson all the time. I bet we do. I bet it's still going to be the teams that recruit the best, develop players the best, and have the most NFL players and the best coaches. Those are the teams that are going to win no matter what you do to the playoff. That's not going to change. And until, of course, we'll all be retired. Swain, you'll be retired. I will, Ben, before Saban ever quits.
I know, man.
But as long as he's at Bama, they're going to keep winning. As long as Dabo's at Clemson, they're going to keep winning.
Yep.
That ain't going to change. So I don't think that part of the playoff format is really, guys, going to be affected that much. It's just, to me, how many are you going to let in? Our conference champions going to be automatic qualifiers. Sort of like the way we have now in baseball and basketball. And is there going to be a spot? Is there going to be a spot that's sort of locked in for the best group of 5 team? Like right now, the highest, I think it's the highest ranked group of 5 conference champion gets a New Year's Bowl spot, New Year's 6 bowl spot. Is there going to be something like that with the playoff? Let's say next year that Liberty or Coastal Carolina again goes like 10-1 or whatever. Are they going to get in automatically as the top group of 5 team? Those are, to me, the questions that are going to be asked. I've heard there's going to be buys involved. That if you're the top 2, or I guess it depends on how many that they're going to expand it to. If you're the top 2 or 4 seed, that you get buys the first round. I think that would be fair. I think the more teams, because if you're Clemson or Ohio State or Bama and you go 12-0 or 13-0, and you got 12 or however many teams in, maybe even 8, then those teams probably deserve a little bit of a bonus, and they don't have to play the first round.
Change is coming, man.
Gary Patterson I talked to him recently, and he had a pretty good proposal. He said, let's go to 6, and his proposal was to have one from each Power 5 conference and then one from a Group of 5 conference, which would give you 6. But the first 2 seeds get by. So I guess last year it would have been Bama and can't remember if it was Ohio State too or Clemson too.
Ohio State.
Yeah. So last year, say Bama and Ohio State would have gotten buys, and then 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that working.
And you get a team from every, because I know the biggest knock. We don't hear it as much around here because we're in the South or in the SEC footprint. But as I travel around the country and talk to colleagues, the biggest knock on college football right now is it's become more of a regional sport. Well, part of it is the Pac-12 has been sort of garbage the last few years. They haven't been very good.
Yeah, they got to step their game up. And
more teams, whether it's in the Pac-12, and mostly it's been the Pac-12, because you've seen Oklahoma has certainly helped. Has been a juggernaut in the Big 12. Ohio State, Penn State's had some really good years in the Big 10. But it by and large, I mean, when's the last time a team from the Southern footprint? Go look this up. I don't have it in front of me. When's the last time a team from the Southern footprint has not won the national championship or at least played in the national championship game?
Was it Ohio State in 14-15, whatever year that was?
They beat Bama.
They beat
Oregon. Marcus Mariota.
Yeah,
that would probably be the last
Alabama
time.
semis, and they beat Oregon.
But if you go in, but even before that, I bet that's the only time over the last 20-some years.
Well, I was going to say Florida State, but Florida State.
But even then, they had to beat Bama to get there. They had to beat Bama in the semifinal game. So the Southern schools have dominated college football, dominated. And I think, again, when you have all these people that are part of the process to set up the playoff, that a lot of those people aren't in the South. They're in Chicago, or they're in L.A., or they're in Dallas. They get tired of seeing that. People outside the SEC footprint, when I say the SEC footprint, I mean, we're talking Florida State and Clemson, several schools that have, even outside, the SEC, who have had really good runs over the last couple of decades. I mean, even going back to 98 when Tennessee won it, Tennessee beat Florida State in the championship, 2 Southern schools.
Yep. Change is coming, though, Chris. I mean, and looks like Danny White is locally, trying to get out in front of it and be innovative. I saw the video, Charles Davis narrated talking about how Tennessee has always been out in front. First black coach in the SEC basketball, first black quarterback to start, and first black quarterback in the SEC in Condris Holloway, and just being innovative, being out in front, and you want to be in front of the change. You definitely don't want to be left behind, but it's great to be out in front and be one of the first to do it. But change is coming. College football, the NIL, and especially here, locally with Tennessee. So you better get on board and get run over.
Yeah, Danny did a lot of innovative things at UCF. The stadium. He wasn't afraid to push the envelope. You remember the whole national championship parade and that whole mantra, that year. I mean, so he's not been afraid to sort of be out there and trying new things and pushing, as I said, pushing the envelope. He's done a nice job of raising money and doing facility-wise. And I think he does. I mean, you had a good point there, Swain. Tennessee needs to do a better job of diversity all across its athletic program. And I think he's very aware of that. And I think you're going to see them continue to bring in more people that don't look just exactly like me.
I noticed it with the administration team. I've noticed it. I mean, people don't want to hear this and they don't want to believe it, but parents are asking questions about, hey, why you have most of the players looking a certain type of way, but no one in leadership that look like the players. And I think parents are asking
as well. They should.
Yeah, they're asking the questions.
Should ask those questions.
Yep,
I mean,
so.
I know we got to go, but you hit on Tennessee's done a pretty good job over the years of making honest attempts to hire minority coaches. Now they haven't been 100%, but they've tried.
Yep.
They tried to hire Charlie Strong. Even this last time they tried several coordinators, but they have really been way, way behind when it comes to the administrative part of it.
Yep.
And the people that run the athletic department. That's where they have fallen behind, and I think that's what Danny White is really trying hard to change.
Yep. I know he'll do a good job with that. He's aware. So, CeeLo, man, it's always a good time. It's always a good time chopping up with you, man. So,
I hope Ben will let me come up and sit in his press seat so I don't have to stand beside
he's
you.
not going, man. He's going to a wedding.
Ben.
Possibly.
So you've been going to all the games.
Get him,
and
Chris.
Here they are in the Super Regional, and you're bailing on Tony and the Vols to go to a wedding.
He's going to a wedding, man.
Possibly. I haven't made my final decision.
So if they lose Saturday, we know who to blame it on.
Correct. It will be my fault if they lose Saturday.
I just hope the Tennessee fans aren't mean to Paul Maneri and LSU players.
Golly, man.
Because LSU fans have never been mean to anybody.
Never.
Right?
They've never done anything, man. Never throw frozen oranges and, never disrespectful to folks. Never say anything crazy, but hey, whatever.
Don't you love when SEC fans and coaches point the finger at everybody else? Because let's be honest. There was some guy at the Tennessee stands the other night. He was just loud and obnoxious and berating everybody. But there's that guy or group of people at every SEC venue.
Yeah. We're all terrible. Simple as that. We all terrible. So, all right, Chris, man.
All right.
I appreciate the time, my friend.
See you guys.
All right,
see you. Good catching up.
All right, good stuff. Chris Lowe, ESPN here in the Swain Event. We'll take a quick time out and get to the text box. Don't go anywhere. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Top 100 Barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over. More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Let's get to the Iris Networks hotline here. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. And let's get to Mike. Mike, good morning.
Yes, I got a question about baseball.
All right. I'm your man.
It's not about playing. I saw a suggestion about putting a bigger TV in the practice facility or whatever, which is, to me, a great idea. You know, we've been complaining that we couldn't get tickets to get in. And why don't they do something like that in the practice facility? And then Danny White's talking about all these donations. Let people donate to get into that event. Bring your own lawn chair. And let's see how people like me would support and say it's going for the renovations of the stadium, the baseball stadium, or even the football stadium. Do you think that's a terrible idea?
Mike, I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, you include everybody, and I hope this was something that was thought about while Tennessee was making this run a couple weeks ago, and I mean, because this is a way to kind of jumpstart, fundraising. There's people that can't donate a bunch of money a year, so hey, here's something small. Here's something small. Let's get to the practice field. Let's get a big old screen up, and of course it'll be a little bit more than just a fee getting into a club or a bar. But man, I think that would have been cool. I don't know if that's something you can pull together now. But say what?
We need a place to park after driving 150 miles.
G10 will be wide open.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a great idea, Mike.
If you guys, I mean, I've got a son that lives in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, and he, me and him got into it over the ticket deal. I said, how much money did you give UT besides $5 for a scalp ticket for the last 12 years? And that kind of shut him down. But I'm sure there'd be more people than you would think, especially if it's game 2, game 3.
Heck yeah. And what Tennessee has right now is a good problem. This is a good problem. You got
it's a great problem.
Yeah, you got willing and able, eager, hot chili fans who want to engage. And from a facility standpoint, you just can't accommodate them. So let's reroute them and put them in a position where they still can maybe impact the game and still feel a part of Tennessee. And You know, they want to support this baseball program, still let them do that. So this is a good problem. You just be creative, you be innovative, you know, you think on the run, and you find a way to harness all this positive energy and not let it go to waste.
Yeah, sell hats, sell concessions. Close off the street that runs by Lindsey Nelson, put us out there in lawn chairs, and you'll hear us some.
That's it.
Miles away.
That's it, my friend. Hey.
Well, anyway, so you guys got a little pull. Maybe you can pull that off for game 2.
They've already tossing around ideas of what to do. So,
okay.
Yeah, they've already having discussions about that internally. So, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what's going to come out of it, if they can swing it. Because, I mean, the question is, all right, how big can we do it? You know, and actually do it. Because, I mean, it's easy to come up with these bright ideas, and, you know, you want to do it big as possible, but can you actually pull it off?
Well, I've been around high school sports for 40 years, and, you know, you can do a lot in a week's time, in a few days' time. If you know, if people want to be there, they'll do whatever it takes to get there.
I agree with you. I agree. But the question is, I mean, do you want to do it big, Neyland Stadium big, or practice facility big? Can you do it?
Practice field where everybody feels. Neyland's just too big for that. You want people in there where they can get to know each other, have a good time, talk.
And then, you know, from a street standpoint, can you shut down the streets? I mean, I think there's a lot to go into it, more than probably what we think about. So you cross those T's and dot those I's, but I think you do something. You find a way to harness this positive energy. That is no question.
Turn the anger into something positive.
Hey.
Let them put their mouth or money where their mouth is.
Yep.
They want to complain.
I agree. Hey, Mike. Thank you so much, man. Call back anytime. I appreciate it. Look at that. Mike got some good ideas. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back to the text box. I love it. From Vol fan, a dad calling out his son for complaining about tickets when he hasn't supported all year. Get him! Get him! Get him, Mike. QC Rodney says, I'm going to be out in front of the stadium selling Nasty Boy T-shirts this weekend. Oh, man. If you expand the playoff, they would just get more SEC teams, which people will still argue against. I won't, but the Big Ten will. Pizza Mon says the problem seems to be what constitutes the best teams in college football. So the sport, the best team is the conference champion. To the TV execs, the best team constitutes the most viewers. That is fracturing its legitimacy. 12 teams is a lot. It seems like they're not really hot on 8 teams. The folks that are having discussions, from the article I read with Pete Thamel. Volin Birmingham says, why didn't the university just announce the day before that they had a limited amount of tickets left to cushion the blowback? They knew a day, and they only had 500 tickets to sell. Well, that's a legitimate question. That is a legitimate question. I don't know that answer. Vol fan says the Legends of Lindsey Nelson tweeted out, the chant this weekend is going to be "Pause a Baby." That's pretty tame. That doesn't sound like a group that was saying things across the line. I also didn't hear anything over the top crazy at the LSU game, and you could hear everything. And that's what Ben was saying. Noted, Jennifer. Do not go to New Orleans in the summer. Yeah, it's too hot here. It's been like 90 degrees. Y'all can have that. Give me 75. I'm cool. 70, between 60 and 75. That's perfect for me. Y'all can have 90. All right, let's get to the phones.
We've got Dave Tona, who is celebrating his 55th birthday today.
What's up, Dave Tona?
What's up, man? What's up?
Happy birthday.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Quick question. First game Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
2:00.
7.
7. Okay. Trying to get my ducks in a row.
Yeah, you have
All right,
you have
guys.
a view of
I just
power.
wanted to-
Okay, that's it.
Huh?
You just want to know the time.
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and find out about the time again because I thought it was 2. So
7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN 2.
Dang.
good.
Good. Hey.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good day.
All right, Dave. Tony, happy birthday, man. Enjoy.
Thanks. Bye.
Dave gonna need some. He gonna need an energy drink or something if he's gonna enjoy his birthday. What'd you say to him, Ben?
I didn't say anything. I just wished him a happy birthday.
Did you pee in his cornflakes this morning on the phone before you let him on?
Nope. I said hello. He said, "Hey." Said I'm getting old. Today's my 55th birthday.
We need to hook Daytona up with Rodney Nostell, man, so Daytona can have fun on his birthday. I'm going back to the text box.
Nelson, no, he does not.
Nelson says, "Does Daytona know about the text box?" I don't think so. Memphis Jake, have they announced what the attendance number will be after the renovations? No, because it's not a clear, exact idea of what is going to happen to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. There's a bunch of different options, but there has not been the exact number yet, Ben, unless you heard something different.
No, they have not put out a number yet. I did see what Chris Burke said locally yesterday that he thought that they could get to 8,000 or 9,000.
Oh, man, y'all crazy on this text box.
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't do it.
Don't read it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. It's funny, though. And it's not below the belt.
Just don't do it.
Okay. It's pretty good, though. I'm trying to see what I missed here on the text box. Oh, what Matt was talking about Tennessee's pitching, not having a powerful guy. You tend to disagree about that, huh, Ben?
Yes, Titty can absolutely overpower people. He said, Matt, I can't talk seriously when I talk about Blade Tidwell. You have ruined that for me, Swain.
You've ruined it. You the one that y'all the one that came up with the
I didn't
nickname.
come up with it. The teammates came up with it.
But y'all the one that laugh about it every time you bring it up there. You media guys. Y'all so corny.
Blade Tidwell is somebody who can overpower hitters. So, Matt was a little off there. He was right about Chad Dallas, right about Will Heflin. But Blade Tidwell is a guy that has overpowering stuff. I mean, he sits 97, 98 for 6-7 innings.
I ain't gonna lie, man. And during the regional, I was a little nervous about other team, hitting off of us. I didn't feel like we were dominating it on the mound, but I had to check in with you to make sure that my feelings wasn't off a little bit. But every team is going to have some weaknesses and strengths, and you just play to your strengths as much as possible and try to minimize your weaknesses. And Tennessee's been able to do that all season long for the most part, except when you went against Arkansas and Vanderbilt, two of the better teams in the country.
Yeah, Chad Dallas did not have his best outing on that Friday night game against Wright State. Now, if you ask Tony Vitello disagrees with that. He thought Chad pitched well given who the lineup was against.
Tony said it. Tony's right then. Duh.
Yes. He said Chad Dallas did fine. He was facing a good team. He got a lot of 2-strike counts where it looked like he was trying to strike guys out, and they would do a good job, or on occasion he would do a poor job. The ball was jumping a little bit, and to me, Chad does what he always does. He grinds it out to put us in a decent position to win. Obviously, he would have liked to do better, and we would have taken more innings, but he put us in position to win, and that's all we can ask. So, not Chad Dallas's best outing against Wright State, but that Wright State lineup is ferocious, and he did a solid job. So
yeah, we saw that.
That Wright State lineup's better than this LSU lineup. From top to bottom.
It's like the home run derby, man.
From top to bottom.
Whew, man, I was nervous.
So we'll see. Chad Dallas did give up some home runs against LSU the first go around. If I remember correctly, Trey Morgan hit one to lead off the weekend off of Chad Dallas. So Chad Dallas did not have his best stuff.
Did Matt's call change your or alter or affect your prediction on what's going to happen this weekend or give you something new to think about?
Yes and no. Yes, because he sounded very optimistic, or optimistic, as our guy Devontae would say.
Mm-hmm.
And that concerns me because I was surprised by that. I didn't think that Matt would think that LSU did not have a chance, because that's not true. LSU definitely has a chance. But I mean, it seemed like he was convinced that LSU was going to win this weekend.
He was confident.
Yes. So that does make me a little nervous. But he's also an LSU guy talking about LSU. So after the weekend that they just had, coming back from practically being dead, winning 2 games on Sunday, beating Oregon twice, maybe there's too much optimism there from Matt. So I guess I'm trying to say that I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Tennessee just needs to kill that confidence real early.
Yes.
And not let them feel confident, later and later in the game and build any type of momentum. So just go ahead and handle business early, kill those hopes, make them dig themselves out of the hole. We'll get back to the text box. We'll go to YouTube, Facebook Live. Give us a call at 865-255-03. That is the Iris Networks hotline. 90 days, no payment for business internet. Iris Networks USA.com.
At work, can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Good morning, Swain Event family. As you already know, I'm your go-to realtor when you are considering buying, selling, or investing in East Tennessee real estate. But did you know I can help all of you listeners in other parts of the country? No matter where you're listening from, there's a good chance I have several Keller Williams real estate partners in your area. I've developed relationships with realtors I know I can trust to help you with your needs. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Attaboy brought to you by Iris Networks, business, internet, and voice. IrisNetworksUSA.com. Ben has us covered for Attaboy today. So, Ben, what do you have for us?
I have an article on WBIR.com that is about a 17-year-old Atlanta student on vacation saving a young woman on a Florida beach. A 17-year-old is coming back to Atlanta as a hero after saving the life of someone he just met on vacation. In a moment that would easily inspire panic in most, the high school junior kept his calm and got the young woman back to safety. Adam, Harvey, and Gillian had just met near Rosemary Beach, Florida, when they decided to swim out to the sandbar. They both said they're strong swimmers and the water was calm, so they didn't think it would be a problem. But it wasn't too long before Gillian realized she was in trouble. Well, I'm 1,000% butchering this girl's name. Oh, well. Hope she's not listening. In a picture just hours after the rescue, Gillian and Adam look like they've known each other their whole lives. He is the sweetest, nicest boy I've ever met. He took care of me like we were best friends. They met from West Virginia. Where does it get to the part about him rescuing her? Gillian said they talked most of the way out to the sandbar, but when they were almost there, she started struggling to breathe. Quote, "What are we going to do? I don't know what to do. My body felt like it was giving up because I was just out of it. My legs were getting weaker, my arms were getting weaker, and I am panicking." Adam realized right away how serious it was. She started saying we weren't going to make it back in, and she was scared to die. He said that's when he grabbed her hand and told her to breathe slowly. I was a little scared, but I knew if I showed it, it would make everything worse. She would be more terrified. I start panicking, and I'm like, Adam, I can't make it. I literally said to him, I'm going to die. And he was like, no, you're fine. In your nose, out your mouth. Here, I'll help you. Gillian held on to Adam as he swam them both back to shore. When they got close, both of their parents realized what had happened, and they were greeted with hugs. So, shout out to this 17-year-old Atlanta student saving a young woman's life on the beach. Well, it sounds like he was Mac Daddying it up.
Heck yeah,
and then saved her life on top of it. That's like the ultimate pickup line, right?
They gotta get married now.
That's right.
They gotta get married, man. That is a love story right there.
That's one way to look at it.
Joe from Asheville says, I think y'all should add the latest Marvel content to the show. Loki is looking great so far. Why are you looking at me like that?
What? I don't get it.
I've been watching Marvel, man, last couple months. So I don't know about adding it, how much to add to the show. I did not watch the premiere. But I watched all of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'll be looking forward to watching this series as well. If I could just escape my kids. It's hard to watch it. It's hard to watch a whole show in the bathroom when you're hiding from your kids. Unless you do it on your phone. It's the only place I get peace and quiet, man. Only place.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get to the phones. Vol Storm, good morning.
Guys, I want to commend you on finding the only person in the LSU media that could take the corn dog out of his mouth long enough to do an interview.
Be nice to Matt.
and was sober enough.
Hey, well,
I think we should get T-Bob on for tomorrow.
T-Bob's already been making the rounds.
Has he?
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
I'm sure he enjoys it. It's good for the brand, and it helps his viewership.
Exactly,
and
because that's what's really all about.
That's what it's all about. So,
yeah, I have a little trouble with the insinuation that ball fans make racist comments. It's about as credible as Chris Lowe saying Starkville's a great place.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, I just want to know what was said. I mean, I know Matt said that, comment was made to Trey Morgan, one of the black players that I guess got the attention of folks. But I want to know. I want to know what it was. I haven't heard anything about it up until this point, and that's something that should be taken serious. And if we just got to make sure that it happened, because we see that race is being used to push certain agendas and things like that, and race is not a convenient toy you pick up, or a convenient tool you pick up when you want to win an argument or when you want to get over somebody. It's a serious thing. People have lost their lives, and so I just want to make sure that we get the true facts before really entertaining it or really having a discussion about it, because I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I do want to know.
Yep. Boys, let's get to the heart of the matter. Who in the hell picks the opportunity to go to a wedding over covering a super regional?
Ben. His name is Ben. Ben
not made a final
Thomas
decision.
McKee. Thomas McKee.
Are you going to object to the wedding? That's the only reason.
He's not even in the wedding.
I know. I'm saying, is he going there to be in person to object?
But he's a good friend. And unlike you, Volstorm, I care about other people's feelings, and I would feel bad because I don't.
You're right. I don't.
I know. That's your problem. You need to be a better person. You need to set a better example.
I'm a wonderful person.
I had friends that couldn't come, but they sent a good gift and everything was good.
But here's the other thing that
that's the whole reason you send out invitations. I don't care if you come, just send a gift.
Send them a good gift, man.
Well, and here's the other
Sign
thing.
autograph from Vitello.
I forgot to add this point yesterday. So you know how the whole COVID thing happened, and
I've never heard of it.
Some weddings had to restrict the amount of people.
Yes.
They originally had a guest list of 400 people, and I made the cut of 250 people. Okay. I feel
you're
like that.
You're one out of 250. They won't even know you're there.
Oh, they will. Because I talk to them every day of the week. I talk to them every day.
If he was a real friend, he would say.
They would know. It's like all my friends from high school. They would know that I'm not there,
and they would know that you're covering a super regional.
They don't. Look, I haven't made a decision.
That's as bad as a recruit putting up his top 20 list.
What?
I'm one of 250.
No, that's not the point. The point is that he had to cut people from coming to the wedding, and he was kind enough to include me on the people who he wanted to be there. And so for me to skip out on that would make me feel bad because, again, I'm a better person than you. I care about people's feelings.
You should feel bad.
That's why I'm considering it.
If it's 50, you should feel bad. Not 250.
Not 250.
250.
Yeah, not 250. Like 50, you maybe 75.
Talk about, hey, you want to sit there and talk about worried about other people's feelings. What about all of Vol Nation that you're letting down by not providing your extraordinary coverage?
I can just
There's more of us than there is of them.
I can hear the sarcasm in your voice. Ain't nobody care about me in that manner.
Hey, you're the top journalist on this show.
Because I'm the only one, and I'm not even. I don't even consider myself a journalist. I write about sports and talk about sports for a living.
How many times on this text box have people said Ben, and then there's a baseball question?
Didn't one guy call into the show and say that his dad set up a Twitter account just to follow you for Tennessee baseball?
Yeah, that's what the person said. That's what Charles said.
Charles's dad doesn't need me this weekend because all 3 games will be on television.
He's gonna do both.
And I'm only missing one game, and the one game that I'm missing is ESPN2.
So you're going to be there but not be there. You're going to be there in person, but you're going to be paying attention to your phone, watching on your phone anyways.
Correct. If I decide to go.
So you're not going to be there either, physically or, mentally. But if you go, you're not going to be there mentally. So you're not going to be there regardless.
I can see the emails now.
You should have seen the email we got earlier this
speaking
week.
of emails, I just want everybody that listens to the show to know that Swain did not make the statement that the Alabama softball team lets their players out into the outfield so they could grade. See you, boys!
Golly. We don't approve that message. Golly. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's get to Rocky Top Titus. Titus, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Titus.
Hey, my dad watches this show every morning. I just want to try to get on because it's, Dad's holiday. I can't remember the name. Father's Day.
It's coming up. And tell your dad we apologize for Volstorm. He's a bad influence.
Yeah. Just kidding. So I wanted to know, what's your idea? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs this year? Tennessee?
Which team? The football team?
Yeah.
No. I think they'll make the state playoffs. The state playoffs between Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Memphis. I think they'll make that one, Titus. I don't think they'll be making the college football playoffs here for a while. But we hope that they take care of business against Pittsburgh, and we hope that we have a good showing against some of the better teams in this league. And we hope to see some organization. We hope to see these players playing together and some good offense and guys playing with the hair on fire. But I don't have any expectations for them winning 10-plus games or anything, Titus. But that's coming soon, my friend. That's coming sooner than later, we hope.
All right.
Hey, with Titus,
Hope
man.
you all have a good day.
Hey, thank you so much for the phone call, buddy. Enjoy your summer. Look at that. Look at Volstorm. He ought to be ashamed of himself. That type of behavior when we had a young caller on hold. Titus, my man. There's hope, man. There's hope. Did y'all hear that young Tennessee fan? Did y'all hear the optimism in his voice? The hope? Did y'all hear that? That was everything for me. Young Vol fans exist. Titus. You special, Titus. You special. Best call of the day from Titus. Best call of the day. Tennessee Tiger on the text box says, Ben's baseball comments are faster and better than tracking on ESPN. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Rodney in Allsell says, forget his feeling. The Vols nation needs you. They need Ben. Vol fan says if Ben's friend was a really good friend, he would tell Ben to go to Super Regional. Ben, who was that on the phone, man? Get them on the line. Get C-Mac on the line. Get C-Mac on the line. Y'all over there talking out loud.
He said he would run up for me in Omaha. I said I wish he would.
C-Mac ain't coming to Omaha.
C-Mac said, I'll run up on your little behind. I said, C-Mac, I wish you would try to run up on my, quote, little behind.
Let's
See
go.
how little I am, C-Mac.
Let's go. Let's
Get
go.
a 2-piece to the chicken and a biscuit.
Hey, look here.
You going to wish Andy was there to save you.
Look here. I don't need Andy. I'll give you this 4-piece.
You're right. You're going to need Jesus when I'm done with you.
Look, you're gonna be talking to God like 5 seconds after I see you. What you talking about? What you talking about? Ain't no but air and opportunity between us, the key. What's good?
What do you want?
Nothing, really. To be honest with you.
Is it your birthday too? Is that what you call and tell us?
Don't do that, Swain. Jason, please don't do that. McKee already got me straight on that subject matter, and I don't dabble no more. I did want to ask, it was really great. It was really, really great hearing the young man's call. Swain, you did miss the opportunity to ask that next generation of ball fan, what type of amenities that young man would like in the new stadium or in the upgraded stadium. Maybe a little gaming lounge. I don't know, maybe a little.
See, Mac, there's a game going on the field. Ain't got time to be playing no games during the game.
Huh? What you mean?
The amenities in the Neyland Stadium?
Yeah.
You don't need a gaming lounge when you got a game going on the football field.
Look, man, these young kids today, they don't got that good attention, and maybe we need to accommodate. Like you said, it was very positive to hear the excitement in that young man's voice, and we need to make sure more young people are getting excited about Tennessee football. So
we'll accommodate them. We'll accommodate them.
We'll make sure we accommodate them.
We'll have some Capri Suns and corn dogs, okay, on the menu.
That's not a bad idea.
Some pizza rolls or something. It's a Hot Pockets.
Yes, some pizza rolls. Yes, sir. You keep running that mouth though.
Look,
you.
Did you see the video of Zion whooping that trick?
That ain't Zion.
That's Zion.
I've seen that video before. That's a fake video.
That's how I'm going to treat you, like a little rag doll, like the little rag doll that you are. I'm going to beat you as bad as Tennessee's going to beat LSU this weekend.
This same energy, McKee.
No, you're going to get all the smoke, my guy. You're going to
telling
get all
you
the
right
smoke,
now,
my guy.
I'll light that knob in the back of your head, boy. Keep playing with me.
You're going to be praying for Jesus afterwards.
We can put y'all in the boxing ring, man.
Hey, y'all, you want to see God real quick? Hey, man, y'all
What time does your NC State Wolfpack play this weekend?
Huh?
Why you going low?
Why does your NC State? What time does your NC State Wolfpack play this weekend?
Why, Ben? Why you going low?
Wait, pause. You had like one of your favorite people in the world call to humble brag, and then fictitiously ask something like, "Well, what time? I just want to know what time the game is." Like, man, if you don't get up out of here,
I just want to know what time your NC State Wolfpack play.
Am I Google?
No. You're an NC State
Am I
fan,
a
so you
TV
shouldn't
guy?
need Google.
Am I a TV guide? No.
You're an NC State fan. You shouldn't need Google or a TV guide.
Hey, all I know is Coach Avon got those boys in the Super Regional.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean,
there you go. Exactly my point.
That's
See you,
what I
NC
mean.
Mac.
Y'all be easy, man.
See you, man. Y'all two are worse than you and Foster.
I mean, I answered the phone, and he goes, "I'm gonna run up on you." Like, what are you talking about, C-Mac?
Oh my goodness, man. Y'all are something else, man. Y'all are something else. 865-255-03. Let's take a quick timeout before we wrap up today's show, man. Quick timeout. Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. Cheer on your favorite team with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. irisnetworksusa.com.
Tony Vitello yesterday on Nashville Radio, 104.5 The Zone. Maybe insinuated there's a possibility that there will be some outside activities for the fans, and a lot of folks have thrown out really good ideas, and man, they've said they're all in on a sort of watch party, and early on the program, we discussed a little bit about this administration is tossing that around and handling the logistics or discussing the logistics, because you don't want to waste a fan base with a ton of positive energy right now. You don't want to let that go to waste. So harness that positive energy, don't let them feel like they're completely out the loop and have to be at home watching the game. man, bring that energy to campus, and hopefully it's concrete and as big as possible. I want it to make national news. I want us to get national attention for the crowd inside the stadium and outside the stadium. That would be freaking amazing. Any talk of some type of ball walk for the players? I haven't heard that, Ben.
No, that would be awesome though. But with it being NCAA sanctioned event, and there are still COVID protocols going on. There are
outside.
Yeah, but
outside the stadium.
I'm saying the NCAA is not going to want Tennessee's players mingling amongst the
okay.
The peasants.
Yeah. As far as ball walk,
yes.
Yeah. Got you. No, you're right. C-Mac versus Ben is a new main event at next year's signing day. 90s Vol said, "What them two chihuahuas barking about?"
You didn't hear Trebell's dogs barking in the background. That was me, a pit bull, against a chihuahua.
Oh, man. Cam here says, "You will jinx the series if you don't show up to the game. Also sacrifice a wedding for a strong career later." Dang, man. Cam, you
broke out the big guns on that message,
I know,
huh?
man. Strong career later. Dang.
I don't know about that.
Golly. Yeah, Cashwell Vol says, "Ben, did the friend come to your wedding?" Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
He did.
But
it was hot out there too, boy. Ooh.
Look, you mind your own business.
It was hot at your wedding, man.
It was June 28th wedding.
I couldn't wait to get inside. I couldn't wait. All right, hurry up. I do. Kiss. Let's go.
That happened. I'll never forget you pulling up. I peeped outside and your girls were there. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Ben."
Man,
that's cool.
I saw some bugs I ain't never seen before.
Man.
And it's by the water too. Woo! Alabama in June. Oh. It was like cicadas on steroids.
Now, here's the thing. He did come to my wedding.
He left early.
But
he gave you a sucky gift?
No.
Okay.
I do believe that if he had something along the same lines, that he would have gone to that instead of the wedding.
I mean, he's a baseball coach. He definitely would have gone to it.
Yeah.
So, I think I need to have a conversation today. It's Thursday. It's time. It's time, Ben. The game is in 2 days. Can't wait till last minute. Just wait till last minute, then you have to come up with a janky excuse.
Hey, I mean, I have legit been sick all week. I feel like death. I felt like death yesterday. I feel like death today.
You gonna tell him you're sick, and then the camera's gonna pan over to the crowd. And they're gonna see Ben going, "Ah, yeah, Tennessee,
me and Chris Lowe.
Yeah, Tennessee. In the new luxury suites. Yeah. That's like when you text somebody and then you see them tweet and they don't respond to your text. You're like, oh, you just saw my text, but you over here tweeting.
Yeah. No, see what's gonna happen is me come up with an excuse and then he sees my tweets.
That's why you gotta tell him the truth, man.
Well, I wouldn't lie to him anyways.
No, I don't.
I was laughing earlier when you told Chris Lowe that Tennessee doesn't even have suites and he'd still find a way to get into one. They have one. It's the coach's family suite.
Chris will be in there.
He'll be up there with Tony and the assistant coach's families.
He'll be up there. J Dobbs says, "Man, we all know Ben's wife is making this call."
She left it up to me.
Oh man.
You know, some of us run the household, so
don't even.
Get the right Swain.
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. What you need to do is you need to do an announcement like a National Signing Day. You should get your Tennessee hat just like this, Ben. Put it on the table, and then you should get I don't know what's something that signify a wedding.
I don't know. A tie.
An empty wallet. How about that?
An empty wallet.
You should do that. So you have an empty wallet, and then you have a hat, and you say, for Saturday, I will be spending my 24 hours in the state of Tennessee, and pick up the Tennessee hat. Or you pick up the empty wallet.
I will.
Because that represents being married.
It does. Especially if Home Goods or Target is involved.
Yeah, at home. Oh, gosh.
I will be announcing my decision tomorrow morning at 9:50 a.m.
I got the empty wallet, and I got the Tennessee hat. All right? So we'll announce the decision.
9:50 tomorrow morning.
Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hope you have a great day. Peace and love. We are out.